What up, y'all? What's good? I predict a long stream today. I really do. We're gonna do some battle rap. We're gonna go to battle rap first. Shout out to the battle rap community. Shout out to all my battle rap brethren and folk. TBL. Y'all know what y'all did Saturday. Y'all know what y'all did Saturday. TBL with the biggest battle left. They brought that to completion. Hitman Holla versus Murda Mook. We're gonna talk about that. We're gonna talk about the card, right? I'm gonna tell y'all some of my winners that I had. Um, yeah, the official and the coffee situation as well. I'll give y'all some brief reaction and feedback on that. Just my thoughts, just my opinions, respectfully. What else do we got today? I'm so behind on news, y'all. We're gonna do the NBA YoungBoy tour. I gotta talk about that a little bit. Word is that he's going to Chicago for his tour date, and he's bringing Lil Tim, and he's also bringing Wooski from Chicago. It's just like, oh my god. Like if he brings Lil Tim out on stage in Chicago, wow. He can. He can. He's got a huge fan base. He's probably got $1 billion security detail around him at this point, and he's tearing shit up out there. So you never know. What else do we got? We got some Young Thug today. So I wasn't here when he dropped his apology song. We're gonna double back. We're gonna talk about it. I see he's got another joint out that he just put out there for the Migos. So he's still cleaning up his relationships. I got some Camron and Jim Jones. I got some Beanie Sigel and Jay-Z. I got some ASAP Relly. I got a real important message for all of us, not just the youth, but for all of us towards the end. I got a lot today. And shout out to the whole checks and balances, man. I'm gonna try to get through that thread today and catch up because I know there's so much topics and news that we miss. We haven't streamed since we wasn't here Friday, so we missed Friday, we missed Saturday, we missed Sunday. Okay, so 3 days just like that. Yeah, I swear to God on everything. I got some tweets. I got some comments in my pictures on Instagram too. Somebody put in one of my, I put up like 3 joints on my Instagram. Somebody put like, yeah, I'm glad you're having a good time. Yo, say enjoy your time away. But all right, that's it. Let's get back to the podcast. Yo, it's so fire and humble to see shit like humbling to see shit like that. This is the first time I took me a little trip and I met more people. Yeah, I swear on everything. I met more people from a sorry is true standpoint than from an RBE standpoint. I told y'all my trip to New Orleans for the Super Bowl early this year. That was the first time I met somebody just out in the world, and it was just like, "Yo, the pot," and I was just like, "We're not gonna talk about RBE." Like he's like, "I don't know nothing about battle rap. It's podcast." I was like, "Oh shit!" February, that was the first time that happened to me out in the world. But this trip right here, I was just like, "Yo, like." RBE, like nobody's talking to me about it anymore. It's just like, yo, your podcast. Met people in the airport, at the gate, moving around. It's just like, yo, I'm watching you in the mornings. I'm catching your podcast. Thank you. Keep doing your thing. It's an honor, man. It's humbling. We all, hey, y'all good over here? This podcast, this platform is growing, man. It's growing, and that's the consistency. That's the work ethic. We here. We got a very nice little live show. I'm gonna keep trying to get better myself as far as what I do. Right. We're gonna continue to expand our audience, expand our topics, expand our knowledge. Um, Word on the street is there's a sorry is true chat now. I'm not even in it. I don't know what y'all got going on in there. I heard about it. It's dope, man. It's dope. Everybody bear with me, man. Trust me. I'm not rushing this morning. We're gonna get to some stuff. But I do predict a long stream, so let me walk. But yeah, for those that were here Thursday and no, Friday, 6 a.m. Like, yo, what's up? What are we doing? And then was here Saturday and Sunday. Like, yo, where's the podcast? This is part of my morning routine. I ran out to Vegas real quick, and me and my boy Ant to catch the fight, Canelo and Bud Crawford. I did have Canelo winning going in. I thought he was gonna win. I'm not gonna get into the whole boxing analysis of the reasons why. I had this conversation on text also with the homie Froze. Me and him's been arguing about boxing for probably literally like 10 years. We're not arguing, but just talking shit about boxing for like over 10 years. Um, I really had Canelo going in. I'm not saying that Bud shocked me. I was never going to be shocked at the outcome. And if Bud was going to win, how he won was exactly how I thought he was gonna win. It was gonna have to go decision. He wasn't gonna stop Canelo. Even though if it was a 15-round fight, I'm not sure. Maybe he could have, but 12 is 12. It is what it is. But man, to be in the building with that type of energy, it's incredible. It's the same way I've always said about battle rap over the years. It's like, yo, we watch it so much on YouTube. We watch it on our phones, and there's just nothing like it when you're live though. Because you literally physically like feel the energy, the concussiveness of the crowd and the screaming and the stage shaking and the walls. It's the same thing with sports events. You know what I'm saying? Major sports events. It's one thing to go to catch a football game, catch a basketball game, go to a baseball game or whatever, and catch those live. That is always dope, man. That's always fun as fuck. But major sporting events, like let's say a Super Bowl, or NBA playoffs, or NBA finals, or a game set. I never did it. I want to do a game 7. But for this boxing event, this mega fight, Canelo and Crawford, the unification, being in there is incredible, man. It's just one of those experiences, man. It's just you work hard and then you try to play hard and then it's repeat. And I'm back to work. I worked real hard, but no, I had a great time out there. Got some shopping done. I'm starting to post some stuff to my Instagram. I posted one of my little mini sprees. What else is going on? What else did I post on my Instagram? I posted some in the building footage. I'm gonna post from Dreas the Friday night, the 50 Cent show. Yeah, I was there for that too. Um, damn, Dreas is closing, man. It was like a farewell. I was there like, fuck, like, why would you close this? This is heaven, B. Like, why the fuck would y'all close this shit? It is what it is, though. So I don't think I'll be able to make it back to Vegas before they close. They close in November, I believe. So, well, the rooftop, which is the main shit. So it is what it is. But all right. Thank everybody for holding it down. Let's start to work. Let's get into battle rap. Hitman Holla versus Murda Mook. We're starting there. Yes, sir. It definitely met my expectations. I thought it was gonna be a mega match, like that type of vibe. God tier on God tier, grudge match. I felt the tension. I was watching on a laptop. I was in my room, waiting for the event to finish so that I could then rush to the fucking fight. But I'm in my room with my laptop watching it, and I'm just like, yo, this is. I could tell, like just on camera, the energy and the tense nature of that battle. But I think it's something that just had to happen. They had to get that one out the way. The battle rap culture needed that. You know what I'm saying? Hour-long upload. I see that they dropped it last night. Shout out to TBL. It's probably over like 200,000 views already, right? And I'm gonna pull it up right now. And a battle like that dropping so fast, I totally understand, because it gets bootlegged so much is number one, and it's so heavily talked about. I know that some fans might look at it like, I bought this pay-per-view, Saturday night, and here it is dropping on a Sunday. Like, what the fuck? I want to defend TBL for that, right? Because I've been there before. So battle rap, unfortunately, like we're a much smaller niche market. 225,000 views already, 250,000 views already. Whereas niche market, so the bootlegging hurts us so. Bootlegging hurts everybody. Like the music industry went to hell and back. Pac is out here fighting people in the streets of Manhattan to get bootlegs off the street, right? It hurts every industry, and there's laws and piracy, and the world changed behind it. Canal Street got swept up. Like it's crazy. So when you have a smaller market like battle rap, and we go through like so much heavily bootlegging, it hurts us badly financially. It's like it's hard to survive the type of turnover ratio or ROI that we deserve based on the type of bootlegging, right? Now, on the flip side, I know there's a lot of fans that say, listen, there's a lot of unpredictable nature of battle rap, battles that don't happen. This person don't show up, this, that, boom, boom. This person chokes, this fight happens mid-round or whatever. It's not as predictable as trying to fly out for a football game, right? You never know what's gonna happen. So I understand. But look at it like this: whether you pay 30, 40, 50, $60 for your pay-per-view, look at it like this. What you're paying for is also the live experience. Okay. You just can't beat being in the moment. Now you can go replay it, or it could drop Sunday and you can hear the aftermath or the after effect, and the narratives could sprawl and people can continue to talk about things. But being there live with everybody else that's in tune, that's one of the pieces of the experience. So, let's cut TBL some slack there. You know what I'm saying? If y'all stop bootlegging, then it won't drop that fast. But it's out for anybody that's missed it. And also, there's an incentive to go still buy the VOD because the rest of the battles is still there. Calico and Nitty and Swamp, Swamp and Hollow, Rex and Av. So shout out to TBL, man. That was a big, big delivery for battle rap. And there were some announcements. Y'all are bold as fuck. Okay. I was texting somebody about that. I was talking to somebody about that. I was on the phone with shout out to my nigga Cass. Shout out to my man Knowledge. I was talking to them while I was out there too. We was on the line just chopping it up, talking shit. And I was just like, man, they bold. TBL is bold. Like Rex was literally taking the stage versus Av, and then they ran the Rex and the Snake Eyes trailer. I said, yo. It was like, if I'm Al, what the fuck? Like, now I gotta pay attention to who's flipping the coin. If y'all call it time on me and shit. Nah, I know there's none of that bullshit going on, but TBL seems to be they work a pattern that is very, very, cycling, so to speak. It's like, and you got to entrust the battle rapper too. And the battle rapper needs to take advantage of that. Somebody that's willing to rock with me before I even deliver, where I'm currently booked for or scheduled to have coming up. So I need to be motivated for y'all. You know what I'm saying? So please, 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 everybody hold up y'all ends of the bargain, and battle rap from a platform like TBL will continue to get great things because they like to move fast. I like that. At one point, some people I seen bloggers say, yo, it's too much. Fuck all that. If it's something that we want to see, book it, put it on the screen for us. All right. We'll buy. Well, I'm buying it. Let's support it. Let's fucking support it. But back to Hitman and Mook. Big deal. Everybody wants me to get into winner and loser. I get it. I understand it. There's no way around it. Y'all know I'm always going to keep it 1,000 with y'all. My bias will not let me get into that full answer, sir. Right? It was incredible. Now, I'm just keeping 1,000 with y'all. I'm being real. Like, no, I'm leaving that. I'm leaving that alone. Hitman had an incredible performance, and Mook. This is one of the best Mooks that I've seen. It absolutely is one of the best Mooks I've seen. That first round has almost like a Hitman and Eazy vibe to it. What do I mean by that? Meaning that, I don't want to say the underdog. Hitman tends to cast a little bit of a shadow on his opponents, because he rose to the top of the heap, viewership wise, draw wise, and there's a little bit of a casted shadow there. And that even Mook pays attention to stuff like that, because one of his like opening bars, like, let's get this right. I'm the A side, you the B side. Let's put that on a record, player. Right. So putting stuff like that out there is because it's one of the narratives, like who's the bigger guy, and Holla cast that shadow on people. So I say that to say, now Eazy, of course, is, not, he didn't reach the level of a Hitman just yet. He's on his way. So that first round feels like that a little bit. Like, this guy Eazy comes out and he blacks, and Murda Mook comes out and he blacks, and Hitman had to have one of his great rounds to make it debatable, right? Because these niggas is on his heels. You know what I'm saying? The second round of the battle, I got to replay it. I listened to it while I was driving up the highway yesterday on Rap Grid, because it wasn't 9 o'clock yet when the video dropped. So I was just replaying my VOD. And then, of course, I watched it live when it went down Saturday. The second round, I'm not in the weeds with it just yet. All right. this is one that I want to continue to allow to sit. I was the same way with Verb and Mook, right? And I want to give more time. I want to analyze it more. ARP, are you really trying to do it? Blah blah. Don't you see the consensus? I'm not a consensus person. All right. The third round, which is going to be a majority of today's topic when it comes to Hitman and Mook. The third round makes a fan like me. It makes me want to learn more about what that content is, what proof is around it, what they say about it afterwards. And then I like to see how real it is. Because angles like that. Now, of course, Mook has some crazy angles in the third round. I'm not going to skip over them. I'm not. But Hitman's angle. When you drop an angle like, let's say, Big K versus Adi Boom, right? Big K did that in the first round tactically for a reason. Because he wanted to invalidate everything else that Adi Boom can say. Now, in the moment, did Big K invalidate everything that Adi Boom could say? Fuck no. Who won the battle in the building? Adi Boom. I tell you, no lie. Matter of fact, hold on, quick disclaimer. Let's make sure that we have no lies. And I'm going to walk that walk as well. Okay. People, don't lie on me. Right. And let's make sure that we present to the best of our knowledge is 100% as real men, honesty. Okay. Let's be honest. Let's be honest with ourselves. Let's be honest on these cameras. And let's be honest in front of our fan bases. Okay. I will promise, I'll make that promise as always. Okay. Honesty today. Honesty. Okay. Where was I? Where was I? Getting back to the battle though. That angle, it makes me tilt that and look at it differently because that Adi Boom in that Big K situation, I feel similar towards it, where it's like, hold on. If that shit is true and it was delivered in the form of battle rap, it changes. Maybe it's just me. It changes how I look at things. Now, funny, I had a conversation like that, what I'm saying right now, with one of Mook's brothers after the Arsenal battle, right? And I'm very consistent. I was just like, yo, Arsenal says some shit in there that was a little like if that gets legs, that's going to change the battle, right? I'm that type of viewer when it comes to battle rap. It's going to change things. I don't only live in the moment. I love the live experience, but I don't only live in the moment. I allow things to materialize. Okay. I can keep going with examples so y'all don't think I'm crazy. It's the same effort that Goods made versus Calico. So Calico puts that angle on Goods, and Goods tactically like he did his blog and he set up, he got his pictures with his father and whatnot, and he waited. As a matter of fact, his tactical ass, he calls me. He's like, yo, when you dropping the battle? Let's go drop Friday. All right, good looking. And there's like, matter of fact, my bad. Yo, hey, y'all, what time you dropping it? Probably like 5 p.m. Y'all outside. I got y'all. All right, cool. It's like fucking 4:54, his blog drops. It's like, all right, good. That was a good one. You smart. Smart, man. It's tactical shit because there's 3 wars. And if you watch and you study battle rap, you understand what I'm saying is very true. There's 3 wars. There's the war before, there's the actual on stage, and then there's the after. Snowball effects happen after all the time. When I say Adi Boom won in that building, if you were there, you understand. Big K's first round. Matter of fact, Big K himself, what do he call it? He called it like that lingering, burning sizzle that continues to develop, right? That's what he called it, something like that. It's like after that, you start to go through the paperwork. Then you start to see some of the missteps of the opponent. It's like, okay, because now cameras are in these people's faces, and it's like, yo, boom. What was that Big K was talking about? And the answers are shaky, or there's some missteps, or somebody, instead of claiming something like going the Takashi route or something, right? You say it's false, or it's not true, or that's fake paperwork, or somebody created that, or that's Photoshop, or there's blue writing on it, or somebody scribbled it, right? Once people start going in that direction, what happens is the fans, battle rap fans, big narratives like that and big battles, they like to follow up. And then eventually in time, Boom couldn't overcome it. All right. Mook, as far as like in the situation with Hitman, it's not Boom. Mook's fan base is way different. Okay. Mook has a huge fan base. He's one of the biggest battle rappers in battle rap history, and deservingly so. Um, it's like one of those things where if you care, you care. If you don't care, you don't care. If you're just paying attention to the rounds, but it's just based on what type of person you are, right? If you're close to it, you want to know. You know, friends want to know, family want to know, very, very diehard fans want to know. The other side's fan base wants to know because they're rooting for their guy, right? And then people just start to look at shit. Now, when I say let's keep it honest today, all right, because I'm going to start pulling up some of this footage and we're going to start looking at some stuff. When I say let's keep it honest today, revelations for ARP, right? Did I know about this angle before the battle? Yes. Yes, I did. How long did I know about it? For probably like, I'm just guessing, probably like 3 weeks or something like that. All right. I'm going to continue on this piece of the topic in a second when I get to Mook on 15 Minutes of Fame. But this is, from what I understand, the first time that anybody has ever had this type of stuff go around. I never heard about that before. The rape stuff, I was watching the Twork interview and he revealed something that I didn't really know. Or maybe he said it before and I didn't catch it. Maybe I didn't see the interview. But Arsenal said it obviously in the third round of his battle versus Mook. And Twork says something. I don't want to misquote the man, but I believe he was saying something like he had that type of information or that type of angle in his battle when he battled Murda Mook, but he didn't use it because Mook didn't go on an angle towards Twork's baby mother. So I guess Twork was looking at it like that's below the belt. And if you go there, I'm going to go here. Right. So for this stream, people, I'm leaving that alone. I ain't messing with that. You know, I'm gonna leave that alone. I'm gonna leave that alone. Like I see the screenshot. Um, I obviously heard Arsenal's third round. I see what Twork said in his interview, and we all saw Holla's round last night. But I'm gonna leave it alone. You know what I mean? And that's what I'm gonna say right there. I ain't messing with that. But the other angles, right? If there's paperwork, which is what a lot of people always say they want to see, is there paperwork? I want to start to pull up and look at it for myself. Holla starts it off this second half of his round, his third, getting into that angle, right? Because the first shit is about the awe. Nah, we're gonna skip that.
It's time we had a real conversation about the chain of events that took place at your apartment 332. I dare you say I'm fronting. You can't hide nothing. What secret you want to tell Texas first? I'm sure out of these 19 documents, me and you can find something. This right here, this right here. This. Oh my goodness. This right here is the kill shot. Hitman the assassin. How about we start with Exhibit A? The young lady you made quit her job that worked in your building because of too much sexual harassment. It's in black and white. Jonathan Ankrum. That's Mook. Approached me several times saying how he couldn't wait to gang bang and rape me. What type of nigga is you? I bet you did stop drinking because the guilt is understandable. This whole time you really was a goat. You filthy animal. What about? It's real work. It's real work. Let's go. What about what about Exhibit B? Your neighbor's 3-page statements about all of your drunk nights, which led to all of your drunk fights, which led to a punch wife, banging on the walls, domestic violence in the halls, a bunch of wild things. They reported multiple times hearing your daughter begging you to stop hitting her. They said every night they heard child screams. Another neighbor said they had to complain for 8 nights. They watched you beat your wife ass in the elevator. What in the Ray Rice? What about Exhibit C? There's so many of these shits listed. Wait. This one say, you whooped your wife ass over not liking a birthday present. Parentheses, gifted cake. It say 3 months later, you beat your daughter half to death on Christmas Day? And you got your wife with him? Like she proud of what he did? How dumb of a bitch you gotta be to let him keep beating on your daughter and she ain't even biologically his? So his wife stopped feeling safe around him with the children. So she put a restraining order on him. He couldn't walk into the building. So how insane could it be? In came no police. But how can they stop you from walking into an apartment that your name wasn't on the list? It's fact. He just told us.
All right, so there's a bunch of angles in there, right? And this whole thing. So he's trying to do domestic disputes. He's trying to do something involving a child. He's doing this whole thing in the building, the lease, how much is your rent? There's like 4 or 5 or 6 different layers in it. And it starts in battle rap. You got allegations, you got stuff that goes around, and then comes into battle rap. And then once it comes out of the round, it's like, is it true? Is what he holding in his fucking hand real or not? I know the whole thing also between John and Jonathan. I'm gonna pull some of that up. Let's take that down. But I do want to get to this. I want to watch some of the 15 Minutes of Fame interview.
I got to ask you this. The third round, he went heavy in the third round with the paperwork, and he was reading verbatim. Yeah. You know, he added the verbatim like right into the raps, and it seemed like he was really gunning for you in that third round. What's going through your mind while the third round is happening?
I mean, nothing like, all right, it's just another one of the stunts. Like, you know what I mean? It's all good. Like, you know, I would have raised.
So that right there was one of the first things I was paying attention to. Because like I said, the wars after the war, right? When Mook says another stunt, okay? We all know what a stunt is. Stunt is pretty much calling something fake. You know, you up here, you lying, or you're doing some bullshit angle. So he said another stunt. Okay.
I would be in jail, man. That's just bottom line. You know what I mean? You rape somebody, you go to jail. You don't get expelled, you go to jail. Rape, especially a white girl, you go to jail. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And you know, people, you know, it's easy like to file shit on people too. Like, you know what I'm saying?
That's true.
People can sue you, people do bad, like people can file, like it's just a bunch of different things you can do, but
that's true.
I didn't feel like none of that shit was going to even matter. Like, you know what I'm saying? That shit, like people that got brains, it is what it is. Like he was trying to fight with it. I believe so. You know, he's trying to fight with it, but people like, and life happens. Like people go through shit in life. You know what I'm saying? Like people have arguments with the girls, people do shit, like we've all seen that. So it's you could bring up a life or whatever if you want to. You know what I'm saying? It's not like you rapping. Are you rapping? Are you making it that clever? Are you just trying to say something about a nigga going through something in life if that's what you're doing? You know? But and I told him, my name is John Ankrum. So when you first came out with this is in black and white, and the letters was blue. That's one. And the letters was blue. But never mind that. It was like all pin, it was pin on it and all of that. Like I'm like, what the? But then it was like he's like, it's black and white, Jonathan Ankrum, and my name is John.
It's not Jonathan.
It's not Jonathan. So whatever you feeling like on that, like if they saying Jonathan, if y'all doing that, and you can't even get at least get my name correct, you know what I'm saying? Then hey, I don't know.
Do you think you went that angle because y'all got so heated, leading up to the battle? Did it come down to like, I got to do everything I can, you know, because we talked and you were saying like people was helping them. Did you know it was that kind of?
I know
that kind of help.
I know who even tried to give us like do that for him. Like, you know.
So you anticipated that?
All of this shit. I know who even tried to do that. They caught one in the shit too. It don't matter.
So you didn't.
What was that? Let me play that again.
So you anticipated that?
All of this shit. I know who even tried to do that. They caught one in the shit too. It don't matter.
So you didn't try to counter right.
What are you talking about? What'd you talk about, Willis? Who is that? Who is that?
I know that. I know who even tried to give us like do that for him. Like, you know.
So you anticipated that?
All of this shit. I know who even tried to do that. They caught one in the shit too. It don't matter.
So
who is they? Who is they that caught one? I already set the stage. We have to. Pure honesty is the only thing we got to keep around this, man. Why you want to bring me in some shit? Allegedly. We got to keep it honest today. So I told y'all I was going to come back to this point after playing the 15 minutes of fame footage, right? I already told y'all, yes, I did know about this angle like 3 weeks before the battle. Did I give this to Holla? Since the breast cancer thing, you know, and since cancer is a topic in this battle as well. That was a beautiful angle you painted at the end of the third. I love the angle. I love how you crafted that. You know, on mine's though, on mine's soul, I ain't get shit to Holla. All right. That shit came to my phone and I was just like, what the fuck is this? Okay. I'll keep 1,000 with you. Holla sent it to me. If Holla wants to say who sent it to him, I'll leave that on him. Like, I don't know if he wants to say that's for him to do. But for me, the fuck? What's this text message? Trellis, what? Click this link. What's nigga sending me? What the fuck? What the fuck? Yo, this is what is it? You rapping about this? What the? Swear on everything. Swear on mine. I put on mine. You know what I'm saying? So, I didn't like that accusation. If you're alluding to me, you know what I'm saying? Because what happens now? I'm talking to the chat. What happens is, if somebody for whatever reason in their heart believes that, or whether that's just something that they're saying in the midst of this while answering this type of question, I feel like if it's said like that, almost like shallowy on camera, it could also be said off cam, you know, and I'm not in these rooms. So I'm just as protective of my name as the next man is. Y'all know sometimes I get real passionate about defending my name about certain stuff. And that would look kind of like not dirty, you know what I'm saying? But it's not my rap battle, you know? It's just not my rap battle. And my reputation is that of a league owner, you know? So I don't like that. I don't really like that, because when them cameras is off, hypothetically, it could be like, yeah, that nigga ARP, you know, his best friend. No. I was a big boy. How many times I gotta tell y'all that? You know what I'm saying? He's his old man. You know what I mean? So let's put it on my soul. Let's put it on all my loved ones. Let's put it on my existence. Let's put it on every fact that can still come out. Let's put it on every text message that people still have. Let's put it on every DM that still is in existence. Let's put it on all the stuff that, because this isn't personal for me and it's not my battle, that I won't bring on today's stream. Let's put it on all of that. Don't nobody, please, don't blame me. I got better things to do than to see somebody book for a battle, and because they are a friend of mine, hey Hitman, hey Show Off, hey Froze, hey Big K, hey Ill Will, who you battling? Hey, let me go dig up. I tell y'all all the time, man. I love talking about the stuff that we normally cover on a podcast, because I don't know them niggas. I don't owe them niggas nothing. I ain't break bread with them niggas. I ain't never shake them niggas' hands. I tell y'all that all the fucking time. All the time. And there's battle rappers that I'm not necessarily that cool with, but how many times do y'all see these big controversial moments happening and all year, and I skip them? I'll be leaving them alone. You know what I'm saying? So I just wouldn't want that. If that's the case, I wouldn't want that narrative getting said on camera or to me or behind my back. That's just what ARP is out here doing. Okay. So There could be a part 2 to that if need be, but I just hope that that's not being said or spread. Okay, I'm just listening to your words, G. You know what I'm saying? So, and then when you say, the person that they also caught a shot in the battle. Now, I don't got no problem with battle rap shit. Like battle rap is battle rap. You know what I'm saying? Like I've been here, done that. My skin definitely has thickened over the years as far as like shots. Like I was actually entertained by it. When I said that I thought that this whole cancer angle was written and done beautifully, I'll play it for you and I'll give you the credit for. I think this was incredible move. Real shit.
You a cancer. When I went to Red Breed, that league became something. When you went to Red Breed, that league became nothing. What happened to the stock you got from niggas? That was a lie from the beginning. Yet another time again, Hitman sabotaged you with him because he got inside his feelings. He put out the dollars he was getting, and all his partners got offended. Now look at ARP after you putting out his business. You put that nigga out of business. Yeah! ARP, what's the problem with me? All I did was make you more money than you ever made. We won together. It ain't my fault you broke us up because you had to split it 11 ways. I'm the legend on the stage. I put a suppressor on the K. Didn't I tell you my silence is bigger than anything you could ever say?
The whole cancer thing, I knew Verb was gonna come up in the battle too on some regular tactical shit, real shit. I knew he was, and for Verb to be used with his mother, and then we know Hitman's mother, and then all three of y'all have very sensitive situations with your kin and your mothers, and it's respect to all three situations. You know what I'm saying? Because I can relate. You know what I'm saying? So I would never, but using that and then turning towards Holla and painting him as a cancer to the culture, that is a great angle of how to weave in Verb. But tactically, like using me to make him the cancer, it's battle rap. Like like I said, Holla's a big boy. Like I don't give a fuck about none of that, and I ain't jumping off no fucking ropes for that shit. I don't care. You know what I mean? But rap cap is one thing, you know what I'm saying? But it's really the other thing that I'm paying attention to the most. I'm just like, somebody's just digging up paperwork on you like me. I hope that's not being said about my name. But as we talk about the actual paperwork now that Holla mentioned, he gave out the website and everything. Let's start to walk through some of this shit. What is the website? The website is trellis.law. Now, when this comes to my phone initially, that's what catches me right off rip. Now, y'all know this podcast. We don't do trellis.law. This is my first time even seeing a trellis.law. I have to keep it 1,000 with you. Never fucking heard of it before. We pull up Pacer. You know what I'm saying? Like I do Pacer. I do Justia. There's a couple other ones. You know what I'm saying? I think the one that Big K rapped, I think that was Justia.law. The thing about a .law website, it's like if I want to go get me a website right now, like rarebreedent.com, it's going to be a .com or a .net. Just out of curiosity, I pulled up the .laws and what it takes to get a .law website. So it says the eligibility. My bad, I'm fucking up these fucking words. You must be qualified legal professionally or organization-wise, such as a licensed lawyer, a law firm, a court, or a law school to obtain a .law website. So right there, I said, whoa. The whole thing about is the paperwork or is the website going to be fake? When I see a .law or a .gov, like if you want to talk about some DMV shit or like some car shit or some legal shit, I say, okay, all right. So the link, I'm not going to classify it as fake, and when I pull up the link, this is actually all these documents that's tied to it, right? It's a lot of shit. It's a lot of shit. Now, if this was that type of stream, like all of these documents, like to read through all of this shit, like, nah, like it's, you see all these dates, you see all these exhibits. It's a lot of stuff up here, y'all, and if I start to go through just a couple of them from the angles of the battle, then I start to ask the question, like, all right, is Holla capping? All right. Let's see. This is the first one. Am I on the small screen? Am I on a small screen? I am. Okay, cool. This is the first one I'm going to read. At approximately 1 a.m., I heard loud yelling emanating from the 16th Street vestibule. I looked over and saw that it was Miss Bolden and Mr. Ankrum. They continued into the lobby where things escalated both verbally and physically and went on for quite some time. I called, I don't know what that name is, Cooley or whatever. Maybe that's like somebody that works there, something, I don't know. Who tried to de-escalate the situation to no avail, and the police. When the police arrived, Mr. Ankrum had already returned to the apartment with Miss Bolden, sat in the lobby. She refused to press charges, tell them anything. Mr. Ankrum did strike her. During the writing of this report, I got a call from 432 saying, oh, that 432 got to be like a neighbor or something. I don't know. All right. So, like Mook said in his joint with 15 Minutes of Fame, I agree with him. Sometimes you get into shit with your girl or whatever, not a big deal. You know what I'm saying? Like, it is what it is. There's all types of little domestic spats. You make a phone call or the building representative or a neighbor hears some shit, sees some fussing. You got civilians. You got somebody, grandmother heard something, made a phone call. Not a big deal. But when I looked over this shit, as I read more and more through the paperwork, I'm like, this is all spanning. It's not like one day. It's all across like months and months and months of incident reports and police filings and court shit. So this is like another one. Around 1:10 p.m., residents from 332 John put his hands and grabbed her neck area. His wife, Naisha, also a resident of 332, and he then pushed her towards the elevator lobby R1 and R2. I then asked the resident, John, to please let her go, which he did, then proceeded to leave the lobby. I then called resident manager Simeon to inform him and what I just witnessed. So this is somebody in a report saying that they intervened in the situation. Now, even at the top and on all of these reports, it does say John. So I did see in Mook's interview, he's like, actually said on stage too, Jonathan versus John. If it's Jonathan, then it's fake. I don't know what the hell Hollow's talking about when he said Jonathan, to be honest, because everything in here says John. But I don't know. I don't know. Once again, people be having like these little disputes, like little spats or whatever. But this is somebody who works there that's saying this whole thing about, I don't need to read it twice. All right. This one. This is like just case charges. It says John Ankrum up here, New York Criminal Court. All right. 1 count, arrest charge, assault 3, incident caused physical injury. Okay, whatever. All right. Another count, arrest charge, recklessly caused physical injury. Okay. Arrest charge, criminal possession, count, substance, count 3. It just says weapon or drug. It says crack. Like, I don't know. Arrest charge, aggravated assault, injury to family. That's where I think Holla. That's why I was just like, yo, dog, there better be paperwork. If you know what I'm saying. And once again, it's just a lot of documents up there. Because once you start putting this type of stuff in your raps, people's gonna read it. People's gonna look at it. And it's just like these charges is matching some of the raps. As far as explaining, the actual details of each charge. If I'm Mook, I don't care to do all that shit. But there is paperwork matching the raps. All right, this is another sheet of it. God damn. All right. Even still, nothing too crazy that people or Mook fans or battle rap fans would be like, all right, it just feels like you're just walking through some of these incidents as far as his own personal life. Not a big deal. All right, but this one right here, I think these last couple ones is where things start to get a little bit like, because the truth of it is what matters. John Ankrum, aka Mook, it says. And let's be 1,000. If you do like a 15 minutes of fame interview and you say, you know, it's cap, it's scribble, it's blue writing, it's a stunt, you know, like when you have like a domestic dispute or you have an incident or you have a fight or you get caught, you know, slanging whatever, like whatever, like little stupid shit that happens in everyday's fucking lives. You know, the thing about battle rap, people just they're so invested in all of our personal lives or what we got going on. Like if this paperwork was, if it said Adam on the shit, it would be going around too. If it came up in some fucking battle, it'd be going around the same fucking way. Now it'd be different if I came on camera and I said, no, it's a different Adam or it's fake paperwork. It's not a .law website. You know, that's what makes it like a little weird. All right. On December 25th, 2023, a neighboring tenant sent me an email about the conduct she had observed from defendant Ankrum. Specifically, she detailed observing screaming coming from the apartment and the hallway immediately outside the apartment. When this tenant opened the door, she saw a defendant tenant in fear and defendant Ankrum hitting the minor child who was inside the apartment and throwing her into the wall. As the child, it says child on it, like, okay. As the child yelled out in pain and begged him to stop hitting her. Defendant Ankrum was also yelling during the whole incident, which scared the neighboring tenant. A copy of an incident report memorializing this this email redacted. Does it say redacted? Of contact information, okay, is annexed here too as Exhibit J on January 29th, 2023, and around 2:23 a.m. A temporary employee was on duty in the building lobby. At this time, defendant Ankrum entered into the building with defendant tenant and began yelling as a temporary employee. This yelling began with the complaints to the employee when, all right, so this, what they're going through is just a whole bunch of incidents, but this one right here, the December 25th one that Holla rapped about, I think that's the one that makes you say, ah. And the same thing would happen to all of us. It would happen to me too. When you read that, somebody would look at me and say, yo, AR, what is this? What is this? And I know it also comes down to, as I'm already even seeing bloggers like talk about, like somebody's fan base and just how liked you are, you know. And Murda Mook is a legend. Murda Mook is a GOAT. Murda Mook is a Mount Rushmore, you know. And there will be small people in battle rap. Like if that type of, you know, claim is read in .law paperwork, they would go crazy. And then there's other people where it's just like, oh, who cares? You know? And there's other people where it's just like, you know, like let that man explain whatever that is. You know, whatever route. Everybody's different. Everybody has their different reactions. But if I'm going to read the black and white as per Holla's rounds, that's what he's talking about. That's what he's talking about. It's not easy to read. It's not. It's a little uncomfortable for me to read. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. But I'm gonna leave it there. I'm gonna come to the chat. Yeah, I see people saying ARP is doing damage control. Yeah, I already knew some of that would happen. You know, if you're gonna pull this up in response to like, I gave this to Holla. No, not at all. I already expected some of that, but that's just what comes with it. It's a big ass battle. It's gonna have more and more legs. People's gonna continue to look at both angles, all those angles from both battle rappers, and it's gonna be what it's gonna be. It's gonna be what's gonna be. But I'm gonna move on. I'm gonna leave it alone. I'm gonna leave it there. I'm gonna leave it alone. Let's go to the rest of the battles. All right. I do want to say some brief shit about the official and the coffee battle. First and foremost, shout out to those two ladies. All right. There's not a lot of not a lot of fights that happen on stage, and I did see somebody say you're not a big fucking stage unless a battle, has a fight in the middle. You're gonna have the disaster and the math on King of the Dot. You're gonna have the gyms and the goods on RBE. You're gonna have the math and the serious on URL. It's not something that you want to happen. I don't give a fuck how big your platform you think you are. I don't care how small you think your platform is. It's never good for anybody. It's not good for the fans. It's not good for the platform. We all hate that shit. I think what happens in battle rap, because battle rap is so street, it's like there's like the justifications that come along. Why did the person throw the punch? Why did this person say some shit that was crossing the line? And there's always going to be that age-old debate. Like, what can you say in a battle that's crossing the line? What can you say? What can't you say? What should you put on contract? That's always been my thing. My examples with that was always going to be like QB. Shout out to QB Black Diamond. She will put it in her contract. Do not talk about my brother. And then I have to take that to the other side and say, listen, QB does not want this written in your raps. Do you agree or do you disagree? I think that's always going to be the best approach. Looking at official and coffee specifically now, the controversy of this shit is official lost her moms recently, right? And I'm not trying to say that shit heals. It never fucking heals to lose a parent or a child or a loved one, period. That shit never fucking heals. But it's fresh, right? It's a couple months old. The other side of it, I see Coffee saying, if you're going to talk about my dead, I'm going to talk about yours. That whole controversial thing around Coffee Brown's baby father. I don't know. I see what they're saying. Like, some people is even trying to say that it's not true. Like telling somebody that your deceased didn't die is a whole nother thing that I'm not trying to get into. You know what I'm saying? So is Coffee going to rebuttal like that and not expect to have that type of reaction? I don't know. I don't know. Does official feel like nobody should bring that to the stage? Maybe you don't respect it because you feel like it's so fresh and you feel like nobody wouldn't dare go there just out of class. And I definitely understand that. And I see what officials tweet, and it's almost like she's saying like, well, if I'm talking about your alleged deceased, it's because she believes that your alleged deceased is not deceased. So there lies the argument right there. So then it's just like, maybe if we just stop rapping about dead, period, it doesn't happen from any side. And this is why I don't take the justification. I don't say Coffee is wrong. I don't want to say official is wrong. I don't want to do that, man, because I don't think it's easy to hear about somebody that recently passed away getting rapped about in your face like that. But at the same time, you're going to have a bunch of fans that say it's battle rap. You got to be professional. You got to walk around the corner. Then other people are going to say this was a response. And then other people are going to say it was a response to something that's questionable. It starts to get too fucking sensitive, man. It starts to get real sensitive. So don't take no sides for me. You know what I mean? Just shout out to official, shout out to Coffee. Hopefully it doesn't escalate any further than that. You know, if they decide to have a conversation about it and it ends there, that would be dope. That would be fucking dope, man. But I'm glad that fights are rare in battle rap. You know what I mean? Because it's not a good look. It's not a good look. But shout out to those two ladies, because it seemed like it got de-escalated quick. Shout out to TBL, shout out to the security in the building, get it over with real quick and then get back to the event. You know what I mean? And then whatever happens off camera happens off camera, so shout out to them. If y'all expected me to pick a side in that, nah, I'm leaving that alone. That one seems super duper sensitive. The rest of the battles, who do I got? Arsenal to me won kind of clear over Jazz. And that's saying a lot. Did Arsenal go into the battle as the fucking underdog? Like, I don't know. I don't know. Jazz is fresh off of winning her second Wody. Jazz is Jazz. Some people call her the female Murda Mook. I fuck with Jazz, but Arsenal's my nigga too. And that man came on. I tweeted out in the middle of the battle. I said, yo, does he have like a real problem with Jazz or some shit? Because the way that he was rapping was just like, Yo, like he's on her heels times 10. I don't know if he was just like, I'm tired of y'all playing with me. I don't know if it's because she just won Wody. I don't know if he's just on his own A game type shit. Regardless, I don't know if it was a 30. I don't know if it was a 30. It felt like if there's a round in it to give the Jazz, I'm not mad. I'm not mad, but I think it was a clear win. I definitely think it was a clear win for Arsenal. Great performance. From now on, that's how you drive, but it's not like he hasn't had a million performances like that before. You know what I'm saying? But you got to consistently just keep it like that anytime he's in a ring. You know what I mean? That's a Cody run type of performing Arsenal right there. Like have 5 fucking performances like that straight back to back to back to back to back, and nobody could tell him shit. You know what I'm saying? So, but shout out to Jazz. Jazz did her thing too. I think she had a little hiccup in one of her rounds, but I don't know. I don't know if it was a prep thing. I don't know if it was a pressure thing or just one of the moments, but Arsenal was on her fucking heels. So shout out to Jazz. Great performance, but I give that one to Arsenal clear. The Nitty and the Calico is debatable as shit to me. You know, Nitty's punches, this fucking alien bastard, be like his setups, his setups is for the fucking ages. It's like, how the fuck does he come up with this shit? But the way Cal just talks to you and walks you down, said some shit about I pressed him in a hood that's not even mine. I was just like, it's just the way he be talking, like he's a poet for real. So that one I'm gonna stay debatable. I'll probably watch that one more time before the week is over. I want a second watch on that one. I'm not jumping out too fast, and I might need to watch that one like 3 times. You know what I'm saying? It's one of those lyrical type of battles. And actually, if you call that battle of the night, I wouldn't be mad at you. See, the Mook and the Hitman is like so impactful and it's such a big deal. It's hard not to pay attention to that for like battle of the night. But that fucking Nitty and Calico with 2 guys like that on the A game, that could be battle of the night. Round of the night, shit, Rex wants to argue for that. Rex wants to argue for round of the night. His first round, that motherfucker was floating. This nigga took the fuck off, man. I was like, yo, what is going on with this nigga Rex? But here's the thing about such a crazy round like that. Your follow-up for your second and your third, you know, when you write that, I'm not saying he wrote down. I shouldn't say he wrote downhill. I don't know. But when the rounds hit a little bit less, when you come out the gate that strong, you leave the door open for a lot of people to argue and debate. Av may have just, you know, took his lick in the first, got back up, fought back, and then came and took the second and the third. So that one's another one to watch again. You know what I'm saying? I'm definitely that first round 100% to Rex. If it's not the round of the night, it's definitely top 3 rounds of the night for the whole event of what I saw. And then the second and third, gets a little gray. I'm gonna watch it again. But Av had a good performance. Av is so tough to beat. You know what I'm saying? So you know, everybody looks at battles different. Sometimes it's like they'll walk away with that last impression or that impact. Like think about a Calico and a Lux. You know, that third round makes you feel away. There's still to this day people that's arguing, but Calico won the first 2 rounds. Like he won the second round and Lux choked in the first, but everybody still gives the battle to Lux, right? So you had those moments. But sometimes that also happens when that impactful round happens last impression. That gravitational fucking round happening in Rex's first and then feeling like the second and the third didn't come off as heavy. It definitely opens the door for debate. And if you just counting the shit like boxing, just CompuBox, just add up the numbers. Who got 2 out of the 3 rounds? Period. The door is open. So, you know, you can't take nothing away from Av's performance on that. But Rex did his thing too, 100%. And what was the last one that I saw? The Holla and Swamp, I was kind of in and out. I was starting to get dressed and everything because I knew like soon as that fucking main event was over, I was gonna have to rush like straight to the boxing event. So I was like in and out for that a little bit. It felt from what I was hearing in the background and what I was, you know, when I was turning to the screen, it felt like Swamp was taking it. And I think even one of the rounds that I saw is like Hollow kind of dropped out. It might have been like the third. Almost like he was frustrated, like, man, fuck this shit. You know, I'm out of here. Snowed, and he walks off. So I don't know. Maybe that was like the vibe of just like feeling like the crowd wasn't really receiving his bars, or maybe he felt like his shit wasn't hitting the way he wanted, you know, but the energy to close off like that kind of tells a tale within itself. So if you force me based on what I caught, I would say it looked like Swamp got it. you know, but it just seemed like maybe an underwhelming performance a little bit. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure all the way. What else did I see? What else did I see? When I cut the stream, I did see some of the Loso in the past. It looked like Loso took that clear. Wasn't any other battle? Am I missing anything? Shout out to Three's in the building. Three says Swamp 30. I'm gonna scroll up a little bit. Is that pretty much how everybody had it? How did y'all? I see here Ginger says Rex 2-1. How many fraction bars Av got? No, Av shit was dope. Him flipping his own big ass haymaker. You know what I'm saying? Like I thought that was crazy, to be honest. But Ginger, if you got Rex 2-1, let me know. Was it the second or the third that you gave him? Because I know once again that he took the first. But I see this one says Av 2-1. Shout out to you, tried it in the building. Rex first round and performance of the night. That nigga says some shit like, I'm trying to kill Geechee so much. I almost killed. Yeah, that nigga's crazy. That nigga Rex went up. He went up. That was vintage Rex. Rex has been on his shit. One was like one of his like, you know what Rex does through his career is like he has these performances where he like reminds everybody of how fucking good he is. And I feel like one of those times he did it within like the last 2 years was the Chiller battle. You know, the co-event between TBL and King of the Dot. And, you know, Chilla is one of them niggas. Like Chilla's pen is arguably one, you could argue his top pen guy, right? But the way Rex just overpowered that battle, and to me, he clearly took that match. And it's like one of those reminders, like, yo, Rex is Rex. You know what I'm saying? And I think he's been pretty consistent. You know, everything that I've seen him doing lately is just consistent. So if he's in that bag, like just stay there. Just stay right there, Rex. You know what I'm saying? But Av is Av, man. I think Av went off too. So I'm gonna watch it again. Let me see what this one from Chins TV. Before I get off of the TBL card, I see Loso 30. I believe I agree with that one. Rex 21. Okay. Mook 30. I see a lot of people saying that. Cal 21. I'm gonna rewatch that one this week. Oz 30. I could see that. Hollow 30. Hollow bias. Off of forfeit, even though she who? Oh, official. You mean forfeit, even though she was up to official was winning at the time of the incident, because the first round it felt like official took off, and I think that was the round that Coffee ended short. Or was it like a choke or a stumble or whatever? So the first round was clear. The second round, I think I was edging to official as well. But I think Coffee was having a dope second round from what I remember. Coffee was like, she fought back. I think like the first or the second bar for Coffee in the second round, it was like she came out with some like strong ass energy and just like, it's me. Like I was just like, okay, that's if you realize that you fucked up in the first round or if you had a little misstep, that's the bounce back. You just got to respect that. You know what I'm saying? But officials, like, I don't know. She was leaving that going second effect too. So she might have been up, and it could have been leading just towards a great back and forth. But you know, whatever happened. I'm not gonna get back into that. But don't ask me about no rent prices in New York. Y'all are crazy. New York is expensive. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. All right, what else? What else was there from a battle rap standpoint this week? And I covered the announcements. I gave y'all my reaction to the battles. I spoke about Official and Coffee. I did give y'all a little bit of my honest feedback towards, you know, this whole. I didn't give nobody no paperwork, man. Just stop that, man. Don't do that. Don't do that. Let's not do that, man. I'm not. I got better things to do than that. Like, come on. But the actual paperwork, going through some of that. I see some of y'all in the chat, man. It does feel a little weird. You know what I'm saying? It makes you feel a way. It makes us all feel a way. You know what I'm saying? It makes me feel a way too. Oh yeah, this one right here. Eazy and Twork. Okay, cool. I don't know. I got it debatable. And I'm not even gonna let a promo run change my opinion on this battle when it actually happens. Like, I don't know. Eazy is one of the best right now, and so is fucking Twork. Like, and they got a grudge. They got things to say about each other. Like, I don't got a prediction for this one. I just want to see it. I just want to see it. We thought that this battle was never even gonna happen. The way that they was talking, who was coming out? Was it? Who was it? Was it Frank? Somebody I felt like came out and they was telling the culture, like, yo, that battle's just not gonna happen. Like, it might have been them. It might have been fucking Eazy and Twork saying it themselves. Like, nah, this battle is just never gonna happen. Like, I forget. I really forget. But I probably would have said like it was only a 30% chance based on what we were seeing. It also seemed like where it could or possibly go down, like that was going to be an issue if Twork was going to battle on Chrome. If Eazy would battle, maybe some like, but they found a neutral spot, TBL. That's another dope thing about, you know, all these prominent platforms out here. You know, you can go to URL and have a certain expectation or see certain type of matchups or certain battles that they're gonna bring you. Then you can go over here, you know, to iBattle, you know what I'm saying? And they're gonna show you what they got in mind. Then you could go over here to Bags and Bodies, or you go to Battle Academy. You know what I'm saying? It's just like some of these places are doing matchups that can't happen or won't happen anywhere else. You know what I'm saying? There's politics, there's relationships, there's business, there's financing, there's sponsoring, all these differences from league or platform to platform that's going to say, I could afford it, but you can't. I got relationships with them, but you don't. They'll battle here, won't battle there. Like it's just so much. So TBL, you know, getting this one done right here, that's big for the culture. And a lot of bloggers and a lot of people have been alluding to y'all like the fourth quarter is up. It's gonna start with Hitman and Mook, and then it's just gonna keep going and going. I think what next week is it this weekend? Twork and Lux? Twork and Lux, right? So I think it's just that battle goes, and it's just gonna keep going. You know, because there's some other big announcements that haven't hit yet. there's a very, very big announcement. I thought it was I can't say that. I can't say that. Yeah, I can't say that. There's another very big announcement that's on the way. So if you consider, which I do, Eazy versus Twork, a mega battle, right? One of the biggest battles that's left out there, or that we want to see right now. I would say if you're gonna say Mook and Hitman, right? Then Lux and Twork. Then this Eazy. I said Lux and Twork. Yeah, Lux and Twork, Eazy and Twork, and another one that's not announced that's going to be considered a mega match. And shit, God knows anything else that I'm not even aware of. You know what I'm saying? So the rest of this year, like battle rap is checking some boxes. I'm curious to see how Champion of the Year is going to actually mount up. I'm hearing that Rock's, you know, one of the top guys. Who else? Who's some of the top champion, the Cody people right now, people? Thank you, KK. I appreciate you. Who's some of the top? So that's been up and down in the culture. That's been up and down behind the scenes. Is he locked in right now? I don't know. Honestly, I'm not sure. I know some stuff that was going on business-wise and everything, but I'm not sure if Math is locked in right now. If Math gets added to that equation, fire. You know what I'm saying? What is this one for 3? 3 says the one you talk about is not a mega match ARP. He will get 30. Yo, why you want to misconstrue my shit, 3? You kind of mixing it right there. Like whoever you think is gonna win is not what I'm saying for it being a mega match. Like a mega match is well, how about this? How about I just use this definition? All right. So me and 3 could find common grounds on this. Everybody's gonna tune in. Everybody's gonna. I don't care about any of that side stuff. Like everybody's gonna watch it, right? Everybody's definitely gonna talk about it. You're gonna have 30 blogs about it, right? So can we meet there? Can we agree there? You know what I'm saying? That oh yeah, I did see this. I did see where was that? I just scrolled past it. Yeah, he said this in an interview this weekend. He said he's coming back before the year is over. He must be, I don't know if he's got a signed contract or if he's just confident from some of the conversations that he's having But all right, here goes Ethan, one of our members helping me out. He says Jada Nightwing is Cody so far this year. How many battles has Jada Nightwing had? Because I think Cody, you got to have like at least 4 or something like that. This guy 3. Surf. I saw something online that said Surf is actually coming home like February. I mean, we wish him home yesterday. You know what I'm saying? So whether he's coming home this year or whether he's coming home early next year. But put it this way, we're now in September. If Surf comes home this year, can a battle happen like that fast for Surf to close out the year? I know some of these guys write fast as shit, but we also got to consider a promo run, putting a whole event together. You know, that's a month and a half out or whatever. That would mean literally that negotiations or that type of shit is probably happening while he's already in there. You know, I wouldn't bet on that. I would bet that he's got more important things going on until he gets out. And then when he first gets home, he's got, you know, life to, you know, make sure it's all situated the right way for himself anyway. So I said that a couple months ago. I was just like, let's not rush people on stage, you know, when you got that type of life happening. Now, if Surf comes out and you know his mental is just like stage, let's go, then everybody gonna support that, including me. But what if his thing is like more like, yo, give me a second? You know what I'm saying? Then putting that type of pressure on somebody like, hey, rap, that could damn near feel offensive. Like, yo, I got priorities that I'm taking care of, and everybody's in my face about battle rapping right now. Like, hold on, give me a second. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, like make sure that man, you know, is not just rushed on the stage because we say, yo, close out 2025. Like, you know, everybody's gonna be there when he's ready to rap, period. And that's what's most important for that young man. Salute G. Surf not just gonna battle when he gets released. Yeah, I don't know. All right, let's move off of battle rap. Let's move into a little bit of the hip hop world now. Let's get back into our norm. Let's get back into some of our regular. So did y'all see it? The reason why I'm pulling up the post, I know that there's a song, people, but I'm pulling up the post because I don't want to play the music, okay? But this actually dropped before the song did. It says Young Thug writes letter to Mariah, the scientist. Drake, Lil Baby, Lil Baby, and more in a new IG post. So this was like the lyrics. All right. When it came out, we was like, this nigga's writing straight love letters to niggas or whatever. But when you look at the verse towards Gucci, the verse towards Lil Baby, the verse towards his girl, can you be mad at Young Thug at this point for just trying to apologize to everybody? Because if we're gonna say that's the way to start, with just being honesty or just apologizing in the places where you're wrong, then that's the place to start. You know what I'm saying? Like, which one do y'all want for the guy? Like, I said he's already lost the battle. You know, the whole thing about his reputation and how do we feel about the snitch allegations and all that? That battle's been lost, B. It's over. Like that 2-hour audio and then all the follow-up jail calls that was released. His reputation will always have that, where you're gonna have a certain amount of fans that say, yo, everything's cool, and the other side of fans that treat him the way that they treated Gunna. You know, it just is what it is. So if that's the case, what's the war now that you got to win? Maintaining your relationships and maintaining your career and maintaining your freedom. Not letting this shit trick you off the street. That was my first thing that I would say. I was like, if these people are behind, them people is behind these calls being leaked, right? They watching all y'all reactions and they already tried to violate his plea terms from tweets. So imagine now that they got him making songs and doing interviews and all this type of shit. Like, don't violate yourself or mess up or trip up over your plea terms. And then the DA just goes right back in and says, hey, judge, we think that he belongs back in here because he just tweeted this. He just rapped that. He just interviewed and admit to that. So his freedom, he's got to be careful with. You know what I'm saying? His career now, of course, this is where he earns a living. So can I still put out music? Can I still do shows? Can I still make money without y'all treating me a certain way? I believe so. The man's just got to put out good music and he's got a big fan base, you know, and how much of this shit really, really matters as far as people tuning in. You know, if there's people that got snitch allegations, it don't matter. Like, look at Gunna. It doesn't really matter at an entertainment level. Okay. And then third, last but not least, his relationships. All right. Like, do I want these fucking calls getting leaked and now all of a sudden my home is messed up? My girlfriend left me. You know what I'm saying? Little baby won't pick up the phone. I see that shit. It's like, he's like, when pick up the phone, blah, blah, blah. I was just like, damn, dog. Like, but I respect the apologies, man. I can't clown him for apologizing. You know, he's realizing the effect of this shit because the first song that he actually dropped was Gunna's a rat, Woody's a rat, Slug a rat, a rat, fuck your baby, right? He went that route, and I thought it was a dope song. Now it's the wait a minute, I'm not making it out of this hole. Like, what the fuck? You know, them jail calls is crazy being released. So the apologies make sense. I'm not surprised. I'm not shocked by it at all. You got to do what you got to do. You know what I mean? Get a guy some credit for at least standing there and saying that he was wrong. All right, let's go to this one. Young Thug sends strong message to Quavo after dissing the Migos on leaked jail calls. So I think this one might have came out like yesterday. Shout out to Chigs once again. Let's play this.
Young Thug has been trying to make things right with everybody that he dissed. Now, from what we know, a lot of these people are not rocking with Thugger anymore. They're not picking up his calls. They're not answering his Instagram DMs. They're not even responding to messages from his pigeon carrier. So the only way to get through to these people that's not rocking with him anymore is through social media or through records. Looks like Thugger was sitting back today and it hit him. Oh shit, there's one more person that I dissed in my jail calls that I have not apologized to yet. That would be the Migos. If you guys remember on his calls while he was talking about Lil Baby and QCP's business, Thugger said the Migos were not making any money for QCP and they were also in the red. Now, this actually sparked a very interesting debate between the Migos and Thugger fans. A lot of Migos fans says, bro, Thugger, you do know the Migos have more hits than you, right? And on top of that, the culture fucks with the Migos more than they fuck with you. Thugger went on Twitter today to send a message to Quavo. He said, Quavo, I love you, brother. You know I'm overly with your game till we die, kid. Hashtag RIP Rocket Man. So now we also know that Quavo is no longer picking.
Why is there a whoop-de-doo sound effect in the background? Oh my God. Yo, did y'all, I know a lot of y'all at this point seen the fucking songs that they made of this nigga. So they took like his whoop-de-doo and turned it into like a whole like fucking internet be, I swear.
Up his calls. Meanwhile, you guys want to know what Quavo's up to these days? Today, Quavo was in ATL shooting a music video.
Take you through that, man. Get your hood. Get your hood. We're going up, man. Whole time.
Okay, I see how we got to do it.
You need a microphone. You can't do no yelling.
And I'll be honest with you guys, everybody that Thugger has apologized to so far doesn't really seem to care. They've all just been carrying on like nothing happened. Gucci Mane and QCP were at the boxing match last night just having a good old time, not worrying about street stuff. Now, I do understand.
Now, this right here, what type of questions does that create right there? QCP and Gucci Mane hanging out when the audio comes out of Young Thug. What was he saying? He was like, he was talking shit about Lil Baby to a degree. Wasn't dissing him, but he was just like, you know, Lil Baby know he's wrong for being around QCP. You know, QCP's a rat and yada 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 yada. And then he goes in on Gucci. That was a separate call that was released. He was like, yeah, I guess Gucci went soft ever since he came out of jail. Right. All right, cool. But now you see those particular two people together at the fight. So how do you stand then, Thug? Like, what is Thug? If Thug is so passionate about P, calling him a rat, saying that people shouldn't be around him, Lil Baby shouldn't be being around him, Gucci Mane, you went soft and all. Now, when you see these two together, but you over here in the midst of apologizing to Gucci Mane, you know, saying like, yo, go up, you not soft, and like, but what do you do now? This is when you look at it like, yo, Thug, you really just can't be trying to beef with people right now. You really just got to make neutral music, B. You can't be dissing Gunna. I don't think that you need to even go back and forth with P right now, QCP. And QCP is game. You see QCP, he put up that tweet talking about, like, you talking shit? All right, I'm going to get paid like 20, 30 million. I'm going to make a documentary off of you. And he's calling him a rat and all that type, calling Thug a rat and all that. So he's going to create a lot of noise. It's like, is this a situation where you feel like if he continues not to talk to Lil Baby, who knows about his relationship with 21 Savage? Is his shit with Lil Durk damaged? Even though Lil Durk ain't home right now, but is his shit damaged with Lil Durk? You see OTF speaking out a certain way. You know, how does Gucci Man feel? Is this a scenario where all of these Atlanta artists get to the point where it's just like, no, you're the outsider. Like, we good. We all cool. We all gonna get along with each other. We all gonna rock, make music together. You're the bad one. Like, we're just gonna push you to the side. I don't know, but this picture of them being together, it says a lot.
The point of making these public apologies, not only are these guys not picking up, but you also made statements about them publicly. But at some point, brother, you gotta stay off the phone. People know that you're sorry. What you're doing right now is called love bombing. You gotta give these people space to actually think about your actions and your apology. And if they want to fuck with you, they're going to reach back out to you, brother. In the meantime, if you're not in the studio, brother, go pick up a hobby. Go learn how to play tennis, how to knit, crochet, learn how to play pickleball. Shit, why don't you go learn a new language? Go learn some Espanol, mi hermano. Now, I'm actually curious to see if Quavo is going to respond. Obviously, just like every single artist, these guys are all online, and these guys are going to see this message from Thugger. And if anybody missed what Thugger had to say about the Migos last week, here it is. You guys get in the comments below. What do you guys think of this message from Thugger to Quavo? Like this video, subscribe to my channel. I'll see you guys later, man.
Well, I'm the only nigga on that label in the green that don't owe no money. Man, I need that sold that shit. But they did some bullshit though. They sold the masters too though. That was some bullshit. But yeah, man. That was some bullshit. That was.
Yeah, that is some bullshit. And you know what?
That's cold, boy. That's cold.
I was wondering about this. Like, you know how at first he had told me that he wasn't feeling his situation? I hadn't heard that nowhere else, but now I started to hear it. I can't remember who said it.
Like, man.
So he's not fucking with that. He's not feeling it.
Yeah, no, because you kicking that. I love you. You the only nigga that stayed down with me. When me and him was on the phone that night, you went to go see that nigga said out of his mouth. But you know, Shawty with me. Well, you know, I got him. You know what I'm saying? It's like you saying that you got him on some fake cool shit. Like, I got him, but you just sold him. You don't got him. You just sold him. You got you own 100% of this young nigga master, bro. That's not 1,000. That's fuck nigga shit, bro. You own 100% of him.
I wonder, like, why he didn't even offer to sell him some of it, you know?
Man, he supposed to gave him some of it. Even, but I don't understand what you're saying.
Yeah, but I'm saying if you was gonna do that, you might as well have just went to him and asked him if he want to buy some of it then. You just gonna sell it to somebody else. If there was a price on it, I'm sure he would have been willing to pay some of it, you know, to get a piece of it instead of you just going and having a conversation without him fully and then selling it, you know?
Yeah, it's for sure. But it's like if I own 100% of Mariah and I'm finna sell my label and all the rights to all the music, all the copyrights. If I'm finna sell all that and make $375 million, but Mariah, the only person with me in the green, and it's my folk. Like, you ain't never took no meeting without me. Like, you ain't never tried to cross me out. You ain't never did none of that. I'm gonna give you some of your masters. You see what I'm saying? I take $300 million before I take $375 million. I take $300 million and give you $75 million worth of your rights back.
See, the thing about that whole piece there too, and I think that one came out last week. He's speaking this like the loyalty talk. You know, ironically, I think that's one of the big assaults with all the fucking clips dropping, just going after his credibility and his true loyalty. But it's one of the things, one of the reasons. But the whole loyalty thing is his mentality there. You know, it's not a business mentality. And that's always going to be a gray area when you mix business and friendship and personal, right? But I don't really agree with that shit. You know what I'm saying? So it's like if I call Froze right now to book Froze right now, you know, despite how cool we are, the business element has to come, you know, first in that situation. I can't say, oh, listen, I want you to charge me 10% for no reason of what you charge everybody else, but come give me your best performance. Like, it doesn't work that way. And if he does charge me what he would normally charge me, or, you know, in that area, it's going to be that negotiated contract. Now, if I turn around after that negotiated contract and sell RBE and all the rights to the whole 10-year catalog worth of footage, right? Raw can't come back to me and say like, yo, that one or those 5 battles or those 10 battles within the catalog, I should get paid again for those. It doesn't work like that. And then people don't even know the losses that get taken along the way. Remember, bosses take losses. Bosses get paid last. Okay? Like if you own the restaurant, like you're not even there, but the chefs is in the kitchen and they running this engine this whole fucking week. You know what I'm saying? You might stop in and check on things and hope that the food is getting served the right way and the customer service is on point, right? But also the boss is the one that fronted everything. The chef is there with a set agreement. At the end of the week or at the end of the day, this is what I get paid for delivering this service or for doing this job, period. Unless his contract says, not only am I here to get my chef on and deliver what I deliver all week long, but also if you happen to sell this fucking company like QCP, this is what I get. If you don't do that, then it's not a conversation. And Thug, I think that's like a little manipulation there, like trying to paint P. It's if you're gonna go after P, saying that he shouldn't have did what he did in that paperwork or in that situation in the mall, and the only reason why I don't know about that, and I don't got no opinion on whether he did or he didn't, whatever, is because I don't know what P's reputation was before then. I don't know if he was a street nigga at the time of that arrest and that statement was written. I don't know. I don't know. But anyway, if you're gonna go after P for that, then you have this like supreme moral compass of rats and cooperation. Cool, that's Young Thug's reputation. Go at him for that. But trying to add into the mix like, oh, all these other people shouldn't fuck with P as well because he should have gave this person money. Lil Baby should have got at least 80 million of that 300 million. That's not how it works. Like P probably put millions of dollars of investment, not just into his Lil Baby, but how much did he put into the overall company to get it going? You know, like that's part of the game. Like if you're gonna own the company, if you're gonna own the label, if you're gonna own the masters, you know, that's part of the trade-off. You know how many events I did in RBE where all the rappers got paid and I didn't? You know what I'm saying? Like that's something that I had to accept, which is why it'd be funny, like Mook's bar in the 3rd round, like trying to explain like the reasons why he thinks he and I have an issue. You know what I'm saying? It's 100% false. You know, but I take no issue with it because it's rap shit. You know what I'm saying? But like I never would have that issue. I would never have that issue with any battle rapper that I sign a contract with because it's always been my contract. I'm the one that you see when people talk about RBE contracts and they say like, yo, ARP, he does this in his contracts, or ARP has these type of dealings or negotiations, or his back ends are tied to this if you're late or whatever. Like that's my contract. You know what I'm saying? So if I give you a contract that says you're going to end up making more money than me, it's my contract. You know, like, and that goes from the biggest battle rappers to the smallest battle rappers. So Lil Baby has a contract with QCP, right? And an agreement, and whatever was invested into his career, whatever amount of money that he's been paid over the years, whatever time somebody picked up his studio time or bought his clothes for his upcoming shows, or paid for the drivers and the hotels, or all the type of shit that labels normally do or QCP may have been involved in, like that's part of it. And I'm pretty sure there's a lot of expenses that come with trying to foster an artist like Lil Baby along the way. And then especially when he gets to a certain level of maintaining that, yeah, the money starts coming in, beautiful. And the company gets so big, I might get bought out one day, beautiful. That'd be a company's goal, to build your shit so large that somebody comes with a buyout. I invested $100 million into building my dream and my vision over the last 5 years. And then here comes Spotify, you know what I'm saying, with a $500 million buyout. You know, like we see that shit happen every fucking day. Every fucking day. That does not entitle Lil Baby to something. Now I get it. He's trying to make the point, like the person that approached Lil Baby with the buyout, he was initially or originally interested in just Lil Baby, right? I think there's something that was said for like $100 million. I'll say allegedly $150 million. And then after that, Lil Baby was like, yo, you gotta go talk to P. And then it ended up being like, fuck it, just give me the whole thing for 300. So if Lil Baby on his own was half of the offer, from what we're hearing, yeah, we see what your target is. You want Lil Baby. He might be one of the biggest reasons, if not the main reason, why you're willing to buy this whole thing. But I still own it, right? And Lil Baby has probably made millions and millions of dollars with me from our agreement. It's just, I think that's Young Thug kind of manipulation of just trying to continue to turn people off to P. But anyway, we'll leave Young Thug alone for the rest of the stream. I know he's got a lot going on, but we're trying to catch up after missing a couple days. All right, let's go to Cam. What's Cam talking about? It's Cam and Jim Jones shit.
Look, I always wish Jim the best. I hope he does well. He came a long way. You know what I'm saying?
Facts, we all did, bro.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. Y'all bros.
No, I want to tell you something. I'm talking about just from not being my man. You gotta realize this is my man who couldn't rap. It turned into my hype man. It turned into an artist directing videos, so his hustle is impeccable. As far as the diplomat, the question is this though. You gotta think about this, Bleak. We put out our first mixtape probably 2001.
Shit, 24 years ago.
Yeah, the album came out in 2003. So you sit there and say, okay, 2001 to let's say we broke up 2007. Even if you give it 2008, that's a 6-7 year run. Music was just so powerful. The logo was still, people just love it. Our first reunion, I'm talking about after we broke up, got back together, was in 2010.
Yeah.
The first reunion show we did. If we can't get it together now, it's been 2010 to 2025. So the reunions and arguments and fighting's been 15 years. The run was only 7 years. We got 15 years of disputes longer than the run. The run was 7 years.
Yeah.
The disputes is going on 10, we'll get together here and there, this, that, and the third. But the thing about it is this, and I'm be honest, is that the last scenario that we went to, me and Jim was cool. And I take responsibility for it, but I was dead serious. There was a time where Jim had did a show with 50. And I think...
I remember that concept.
Right. And I think the way 50 answered the question got Jim mad. But I'm sitting there saying to myself, I'm thinking me on the time me and you on right now. We can't talk about... we can't talk about, but the way 50 answered the question, it got Jim mad and it riled him up and he went on tangent for 4, 5, 6 months. Still to this day, I guess he's still upset. But I didn't mean militia out of it. I really want to know
what it was.
How did you get niggas to go fuck with you when me and you beefing? And me and Jewels and Jim, not saying we was beefing, but we wasn't on the same page. So it was a real question for me. And, Jim got mad about it and still upset to this day about it. But I'm never going to say never. But at the end of the day, if you got to think about it, the disputes, the arguments, the reunions is 15 years old, and the run was 7 years old. I don't know if it could never go right. He got records dissing me earlier this year, whatever. I don't really pay it no mind. People send it to me. But you got to think about it. He put a song called Our Frenemies in like 2008. 17 years of diss records towards me. I don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? My brain ain't there.
It's the same way with Beans. Beans got diss records dissing me and all that. And it's like, I don't know where niggas coming from. But at the end of the day, like when the lights cut off, the music cut off, everything cut off, I can never erase what was.
Right. Look, I always wish Jim the best. I hope he does well.
I mean, I take no issue with it, B. I take no issue with it. People want certain people to just stay together forever. That's just not reality. If Cam and Jim come back together one day and do music, or then how many times have we watched in the public the makeups, the breakups, and vice versa with these two guys? People grow, people change, people move in different directions. And along the way, I'm pretty sure Cam would say Jim did a million things to me, and Jim would say Cam did a million things to him. He backstabbed, he did this, he dropped this song, he dissed me about my girl, about all this type of shit. So nobody hold your breath for Cam and Jim to get back together. I think they've been moved on. And if they do come back together, it's business. You know what I'm saying? It's business. Too much has happened over the years. It is what it is. Leave it alone. I feel like this is like a similar one, with Beans, but nowhere near the same probability. Like a Jay and a Beans thing getting back together, like I wouldn't bet $1 on it. Cam and Jim, a little higher probability if you're lucky. But this one, I don't know.
As Jay.
You think he understood it?
At that time, I don't care if you understood it or not.
That's your man.
If my man this my man, this is my brother. I don't care what I got to say to get him out of there. Yeah. They asked me, can I do? I can't. can I do 20 backflips? And I know I can't do a cartwheel. Yeah, I could do 50 of them. For him to come home, they said, if I release him, she said, today, would you be responsible, you know, for his whereabouts? And he said, no. And the whole courtroom went crazy. Dame snapping, Big snapping, thinking like, what? And she couldn't believe it. Bro, she asked him 4 times. And she said, so Mr. Carter, she was like, all these good things that you're saying about Mr. Sigel, and you're not willing to be. And he said, no. And it took everything in me not to, like I wanted to cry.
Did he ever explain to you his reason behind doing it?
No. That's the only gripe I got with Jay. A lot of people think that me and Jay got this big thing and I'm mad at him over some money. And that's not it. It was, I just wanted that conversation. I believe I deserve that.
How the relationship with Jay now?
I don't got no gripes or nothing. Yeah. Like, cause in hindsight, I sort of kind of understand it. Like Jay was on a mission. Like, and I look at the overall thing, like, and Jay was on a mission. And I understand that everybody can't go. And me being who I was then, yeah, I was. No, I can't say I would have did that, but I understood it because I was reckless. I mean, I'm on tour. I'm leaving guns in hotel rooms and all kind of.
So you understand his stance on it?
I understood, like I understood in this perspective. Man, Sigel liable to come home and do anything. I ain't being responsible for that. You know, to give him that, I was out of pocket. I was, how they say YNs, I might have been one of the first YNs. They asked Jay.
See, I
think he understood it
at that time.
I got a lot of respect for that, man, because it's that looking in the mirror thing and taking accountability. And we all struggle with it, man. You know how many times somebody done said something about me and I was mad? You know what I'm saying? And maybe it was just like, I'm the root of that. You know, it'd be one thing if somebody's just playing with me or trying to fuck me over or take advantage. You know what I'm saying? Like, but if I'm the root of it, like if I'm the one that did it and you calling me out for it, you know, like there could be a measure of self-accountability there, you know, where it's just like, you know, like maybe in time I realized like I went about that the wrong way. And that happens. You know what I'm saying? We all human. Sometimes we make mistakes. But that freedom element is always going to be a big call to pause. Like, nigga, like regardless of what you think I'm on right now, this is an opportunity for a judge to say, I'm going to let him go, you know, and you're the big cosign right here. And you're not willing to just say yes, like under my responsibility. But Beanie is saying like, yo, like he had a bigger vision, you know, like I can't be the babysitter and then I'm over here in Paris and I get a phone call that I'm in trouble because you did something on your own shit on your own time. But because I'm the cosign, you know, now it's gonna affect me or impact me. Remember the bars that Jay-Z say? He said some shit like, Beans, I ain't trying to make you change, just try to help you make the transition from the streets to the fame, something like that. He said, you know, and that's just an older, I think Jay-Z's definitely older than Beanie Sigel, but that's somebody that's already left the streets. I feel like Jay definitely has that street background, but he left it alone, like in that regard, and you don't get to where Jay is today without having that type of vision. You don't just stumble across these opportunities. You're looking at shit 5, 10, 15 years ahead. When he makes these I'm saying stupid, I'm joking, I'm being sarcastic, but when he makes these wild ass painting investments and whatnot, you look at it to the future, say this will be worth $8 million, you know, 20 years from now for my daughter. It's thinking forward. It's thinking forward. Even looking at Beanie Sigel and thinking forward. Like I'm over here trying to close on a casino. I tell this judge yes for you, and then you go do with the shit that I know you to do that you fucking sitting down for right now, and now we both in some shit. And I'm the leader here. I got all these people depending on me. And then you become the weak link in the chain because you acting out and you didn't mature yet, or you didn't clean up your street shit yet. You know, so two sides to the coin, man. And I would never want to be in that situation, man. I know most of us is always going to lean to like, shit, you got the opportunity to help your man get out of jail. You're going to do that, right? But damn, like, he must have really thought Beanie Sigel was on some shit then. He's like, this guy's definitely going to get in trouble. I mean, like, we only know what we know in the public. God knows if he was still tearing shit up in private too. But shout out to Sigel, man. Shout out to Sigel. Sigel coming around, just growing and continue to see things for what they may have been in the past. All right, and speaking of Rex, probably having one of the top rounds from the weekend. You know, I wanted to close out with this one, grown man bars right here.
I can't sit here and relate to you niggas talking about that jail. Nigga, I done did 40 years in the free world. Beat me.
That's hard.
Yeah, beat me. All that, like, y'all say, I be like, nigga, it's way harder to do this free world time.
That's
yeah,
real.
you niggas got 3 hot cots and nah, worry about the bills. Nigga, when mama died, this and that. Nah, man, do that free world time. Talk to me about that free world.
Ain't that something though?
Everybody glorify the jails. I'm like, do that. Niggas ain't even been able to do that much time in the free world. I'm him.
That's hard. And the echo out that shit, the echo out what he's saying is so true. Cause on my mama, I didn't see niggas who literally got granted parole and denied it because they didn't want to come home.
Wow.
Niggas didn't want to come home, bro.
I
didn't want to deal with that free world.
You look at me, you looking at responsibility, testimonies, hurdles, all that. You hear me?
That's right.
Yeah, no, man.
That's the cold part about it.
I done did everything under the sun. It's happened. A lot of niggas up, a lot of them niggas is locked up. Man, they can't say they done did what I did, but you hear me? I've been in this free world. And all my partners went home. Nobody got their head buzzed. Now, don't get me wrong. I got my war wounds, but it's a part of playing the game. I want to go come out, escape Floyd. Yo.
Perspective that I've never heard before. That's the first time I ever heard somebody talk about their freedom as if you're serving time. And how tough it is to be out here and stay on the up and up, stay on the straight and narrow, deal with all these pressures, deal with all these responsibilities, deal with all the shit that life throws at you. Like, to deal with that type of shit, man, like, it opens your eyes. Like, okay, somebody walks up to you and says, you know, I didn't serve 20 years in prison. Like, why is it not a rebuttal to say, I served 20 years out here? You know, like, you know what it is out here that we dealing with on a day-to-day? Very, very eye-opening perspective. That was a first for me. I ain't gonna lie. I never saw that, but I like that. All right. We under 2 hours. We still in catch-up mode. There's still a whole bunch of topics that we still owe this podcast, man, after being away a couple of days. But let me come over to the supers and to the super stickers and the super chats. What's good, homie? Good to see. No Shade Media. You changed your name. Did you start a new company? Good to see you, G. One of our members says No Shade Media became a YouTube member. Good to see you, G. How's everything been with you and the fam? Don Bean, our members in the building, says, man, it feels good to be back. Salute to the gang. Yeah, man. A couple days away from the stream. I missed it as well. You know, and I'm looking online and I'm seeing how much we've fallen behind on stuff. But, you know, that's part of the game, man. You know, that's part of the game. You know, we all got to make a run here and there. You know what I'm saying? Cap, our member says, we back. ARP, welcome back, homie. Thank you, G. I appreciate you. Yes, we back to work. Sniper, our member says, green team, we back. Yes. Shout out to the whole green team. Jay, our member here, says, no RBE lives is like breathing without air. # need. Shout out to you, Jay, man. I missed y'all, man. But yeah, we back, man. We back to work. Capo says, to all members and mods, followed you, tried it, and myself on IG to be in the Sorriest True chat only for the dedicated. You see, that's what Capo was talking about. That's what I mentioned earlier. I don't even know about this chat. But I think it's dope. I think it's dope that y'all are now building an online chat to talk about whatever y'all got going on, whether it's criticisms, news, feedback, how we could do better, whatever. Keep it stirring up, man. So shout out to y'all for putting that together. But yeah, follow them. Follow You Tried It. Follow Capo. Follow Jay. Follow all the members. Is it only members that's in the chat? That's in the Sorry Is True chat? How y'all working it? I'm learning. Y'all put me on. Like, is it only members that's in there? But yes, if it's only members, then if you are a member, people, please join that chat, man. It's cool to for us to have not just our exclusive content at times, but also sometimes our little perks and whatnot and things that we do, amongst each other. So what's the name of it? Does it have a name, or is it just the Sorry Is True chat? Like how we got the Checks and Balances group. Like, is there a name to it? I'll catch up. Don Bean says, I'm everyone. Shout out to our member Don Bean. Nikita's here. She says, hit that like button, share the stream, join the green team. Listen to that woman. Jay says, why can Goods talk money and status? However, it's a problem when Holla does it. I'm noticing a double standard. If y'all don't like Holla, just say that. So, anytime you do too much of something that people feel like is being pushed in their face, that's going to be a reaction. When Goods goes through that, he spins around and he makes sure that he reminds people what he's capable of. I felt like he kind of did that in the Calico Blue Room battle. Like I'm gonna mix in some of this money talk, but I'm gonna take y'all right back to the. As a matter of fact, he dropped trailers and he did promo leading up to the Calico battle, like saying like this is like street corner goods or something like that. So like, Holla has those modes where it's good to do that also. Just because if you have the whole developing piece of the battle rap that's saying money, cause, views, and also it gets amplified by his opponents because opponents are using that in promo runs. So Holla got to be smart enough to navigate that. Like, well, if I want to talk about it, how do I mix it in a way where my opponent can't use it and it doesn't continue to be like the sprawling narrative? Narratives in battle rap. That's how it goes, right? Was this the same one? Shout out to Jay. I think there's two of the same one in there. Shout out to Money Machine Mont, one of our members, who became a member today. Shout out to UG. It's a secret society. Thank you for the super chat to Mr. Blaze. Salute, homie. He came back and said, it didn't say John Ankrum yesterday. It said Jonathan. I smell cat. I'm not here to play overplay it for anybody or anything like that. Like, I definitely was interested, on the podcast with y'all for what the real paperwork is behind the round, and also, cleaning up this because Mook's words will travel. They will have narrative to them. Like, my involvement in things is like, nah, like we're not doing that. It's one thing like the angles, on stage, and I get it. Like that's all cool, whatever. Sometimes I address those things if they get laid. Sometimes I just be like, it's rap, like it is what it is. But when he did the interview, I was just like, wait, come on, man. Like, what is this? What is this? Like, what is that? But no, I think Holla said Jonathan. I don't think the paperwork ever said Jonathan. I think Holla just said Jonathan. Why he said Jonathan, I don't know. But it's trellis.law. We pulled up earlier what it takes to get a trellis. I mean, not a trellis, a law website. So, it is what it is. I don't know. I know Mook was saying that it's a stunt. So, if Mook is saying that it's fake, then I'll let the rest of y'all can argue that shit or whatever. But don't come in here disrespecting ARP. Yes, please. I know there was a little bit of a controversial topic that we saw the stream with, especially coming off of that battle. And there's also going to be people that probably come into the live that aren't here every day for topics like that. And so I'm totally prepared for that. Shout out to Jay, shout out to the mods, but totally prepared for that. Prepared for this is ARPs doing PR. Totally prepared for Mook's fan base. Totally prepared for Holla's fan base. Totally prepared for our fan base. Like that's how it goes. But you know, it's a conversation to be had. Alex F, do you believe? 100%. That was the last one. Shout out to all the supers today. I appreciate y'all as always. What else y'all got going on in the chat? Oh, here goes Miss AB in the building. Have a great day. Love you as well. Arsenal did that. What does that say? Thank you, love. I just got this one this weekend. Where did I get this one? Did I get this at Culture Kings? I got the black one to this, right? Yeah, I got the black one with the roses on the side. But yeah, I just saw this one. I said, yeah, I gotta have it. Gotta have it. Had some fun shopping out there. Had some fun at the fight. Had some fun moving around. Had a good time. You know what I'm saying? But work hard, play hard. Now we back to work. That's just how it goes. So, all right. We will be back to regular time tomorrow. Today we started at like 7:30, right? I flew in late last night. By the time I got up the highway, got situated, all that type of shit, it was just, there's no way I was able to get up regular scheduled programming this morning. But tomorrow we'll be back to our regular schedule, 6 a.m. Monday through Friday, and mornings on Saturdays and Sundays. So for anybody that felt like we wasn't having our normal routine cup of coffee type vibe at 6 a.m., I apologize, but homie had to run out for a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I will also upload, you know, I was capturing like little video I was out there, little moments like at the fight or whatever, like just little shit I was either going to post on my gram, but I might edit some of them up and maybe upload them for members only. I might do that. So yeah, little Vegas moments or whatever. So y'all make sure y'all follow me on the gram. And if you're a member, you'll probably get that video, maybe a little short, little edit just for fun. If not today, maybe tomorrow. I'll see. Other than that, 6 a.m. we back. I'll see y'all in a couple. Y'all be good today, all right?
Don't confuse silence with work ethic. I'm a boss making decisions, my first fetish. The verse cherished is perfect, that's a reverse blemish. I drop it, connected to block, learn Tetris.
This is the Sorry True Podcast. Welcome to the house of. And shout out to the members.
Without, I think still got a gun.